Hola, hola con todos. Bienvenidos a la primera entrevista de la nueva temporada de Bestial Blast Radio Show, el canal de los músicos más extremos, ustedes ya saben. Bienvenidos, estamos empezando el segundo año de existencia del programa. Cada mayo se va a cumplir un año más de existencia. Empezamos justo en mayo del 2024 con la entrevista a Mohamed Shahenkari y terminamos el año con la entrevista a Geraldo Minelli de Sarcófago. Sí, la primera fue de Mohamed Shahenkari de la banda Unhallowed y la última del primer año fue Geraldo Minelli de Sarcófago y de The Low Kill Destroy. Ok, gracias por asistir, gracias por estar aquí. Siempre recuerden darle like, compartir con sus amigos, compartir en internet, pero siempre de boca en boca. Es la forma más confiable de saber que algo es bueno. Y bueno, el día de hoy les tengo una sorpresa. Es el primer invitado del continente asiático que está en el programa. ¿Sí? Y yo sé que cuando uno dice continente asiático, muchos se imaginan China, Japón. No. El continente asiático es gigante. Y en ese continente hay el milenario país de la India. El milenario país de la India. Un enorme país con muchísima gente y del que no se habla mucho en Occidente cuando se habla de metal extremo, bandas extremas, Grindcore, death metal o grind, no se habla mucho y ahora vamos a hablar de él. Así que tenemos un invitado que ha estado en varias bandas, ya vamos a ver en cuáles. Ha tocado Grindcore, Grindcore death metal, Goregrind, incluso noisecore. Tiene producciones discográficas muy importantes, incluso hay una banda de él que ha llegado a la Bizarre Lepros Production de la República Checa, eso es importante. Y no es nada más ni nada menos que mi amigo Charles Firman Rozario. Hello Charles, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good, Pablo. How about you?
Doing great. It's terrific to see you, and I feel flattered for having you on the show. I've been looking forward to doing it for a long time, and finally we can talk. It's a pleasure for me, really.
Thanks, Pablo. Much appreciate your interest and support, and we've been knowing each other for so long.
Yes.
And it's good to connect with you this way.
Yes, we've been in touch for quite a long time.
Cheers, man.
Okay, cheers. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing I always ask my guests is the year you were born, because, for example, you live an experience in certain period of time, and it's not the same to live the same experience in another period of time. So tell me, what is your year of birth?
Okay. So if you're asking the year of my birth, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was born in the year of 1982.
1982.
Yep.
Okay, the early 80s. Excellent.
Yeah, early 80s.
You are from Bangalore, India, right?
Correct. I'm from Bangalore, India.
Okay, let me introduce you to the audience.
Sure.
Okay, aquí tenemos la información básica. Yo siempre les pregunto a los entrevistados del año de nacimiento, porque cada experiencia que se vive depende también de la época en la que se vive. Dice que nació en el año de 1982 en Bangalore, India. Y como siempre vamos a ver los conocidos mapas del canal. A la izquierda tenemos la ubicación de India dentro de Asia. India dentro de Asia, ahí pueden ver, está al sur de Asia. pueden ver todos los países que le rodean. Bueno, no se ve mucho Nepal, que está al noreste, una franjita rosada, delgadita, pero por ahí está. Y también está cerca la China, está cerca Pakistán, está en muchos países. Y a la derecha vemos el lugar de origen de Charles. Él es de Bangalore, que se encuentra al sur de la India. En el mapa que tienen en pantalla se puede ver la ubicación de Bangalore comparado con Delhi o Nueva Delhi, que está muy al norte. Entonces están en sentidos opuestos y Bangalore está bastante al sur. Es una ciudad bastante importante de la India. Okay, Charles. So you were born in the early 80s. You were a kid throughout the 80s, the early 90s. What is your first personal memory connected to music?
Okay. I think my first memory of music was when my dad used to play an LP of this German electronic band called Kraftwerk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there was this album called, I think, Trans Europe Express and Man Machine. That was my first introduction to, I would say, music, like something what I can remember, what I can register. That was my first, and then after that it was Michael Jackson. So I was in love with Kraftwerk and Michael Jackson. Those were my favorite, bands back then when I was a kid.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael Jackson in Kraftwerk.
And yeah, Kraftwerk.
Yes.
Kraftwerk from Germany.
Yes, from German.
Trans Europe Express.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you got it, man. Perfect.
Okay, excellent. Okay, aquí nos cuenta que los primeros recuerdos de su vida son cuando el papá escuchaba el EPs de Kraftwerk de Alemania, esta banda pionera de la música electrónica. Él se acuerda de Man Machine y del disco Trans Europe Express, que también tenía el éxito del mismo nombre. Para quienes no se acuerdan bien, si es que alguna vez lo escucharon, esta banda hacía música electrónica con los instrumentos que había en esa época, con los sintetizadores de esa época, y tenían hasta voces de robot. Y por eso yo le bromeaba diciendo que suena Trans Europe Express o una cosa así, porque es una banda muy agradable si les gustan los sonidos así robóticos, electrónicos, computarizados, del tiri 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 tiri. Es muy 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 bonita banda. Y claro, y también le gustaba Michael Jackson. Normal que le guste Michael Jackson a un niño que creció en los 80s. A mí también me gustaba y sí, fue un gran artista en esa época. Okay, so how old were you and how did you discover the first sorts of heavy music in your life?
Okay, I think the first heavy, like hard rock, metal, album which I listened to was by Ozzy Osbourne. There was this album called Diary of a Madman.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that was a tape. My cousin had a tape of this album, and I used to always keep looking at that album cover because it was really scary, right, of Ozzy on the album cover, and I used to be so excited to, whenever my cousin plays that tape, when I was like probably 6-7 years old, I didn't even understand the music, but when I used to see that artwork of Diary of a Madman, that kind of took me. And so that was my first love, I would say, to scary music. I was drawn to scary music, like loud, scary music. Because when I was 6 years or something, I couldn't understand something beyond that. It was just scary, it was loud, and I was really into it. So that would be my first introduction to hard rock, heavy metal.
And you're telling me that you were 6 years old.
Yeah, I must be around 6, 7 years old.
6 or 7, okay. Cuando Charles tenía alrededor de 6 o 7 años de edad, él descubrió una cinta, un cassette de un primo de él, que era el disco Diary of a Madman de Ozzy Osbourne, y ese álbum le cambió la visión de la música, porque dice que quedó súper atrapado por la portada, porque era bastante miedosa, bastante tenebrosa. Entonces se quedó como impactado, y fue la primera banda que sonaba duro, y además era la primera banda que él conoció que sonaba duro y además asustaba. Entonces le pareció increíble, y que desde ahí le empezó a gustar la música pesada. Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of a Madman. Okay, Charles. And there's something funny that happens with all my guests, because normally when the usual headbangers talk at interviews, they are asked about the way they discover heavy music. But with the guest of this show, there are two phases. How you discovered heavy music, and how you discovered extreme brutal music with good old vocals, blast beats, and all that infernal mayhem.
Okay, sure.
So
perfect.
How old were you, and how did you discover extreme music with elements taken to the limit?
Okay, I think extreme music I kind of got introduced, I would say, sometime in between 96, 97.
96.
That was the time. Yeah, 96, 97. My elder brother, he used to listen to thrash and death metal, and then he got me a tape. I still remember, I think, couple of tapes. I think one was Cannibal Corpse.
Can you repeat the name?
Two more, The Mutilated. Cannibal Corpse.
Cannibal Corpse, yes.
Yeah, two more, The Mutilated. That was one. And one more was Cause of Death by Obituary.
Oh, yes, Cause of Death.
Yes. I think this was the first introduction to, I would say, extreme music. Music which had growling vocals.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of really took me a lot of interest. So I would say my brother got me introduced to metal, and then from there extreme metal as well.
Okay, so you were kind of blessed by having a friend into extreme metal, a brother into extreme metal.
Oh yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, my brother got me into extreme metal.
Not everybody is as lucky as that. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Entonces, bueno, yo le decía a Charles que cómo es que conoció la música extrema, porque a los invitados de este canal siempre les tengo que preguntar sobre dos fases de la vida. Una, cómo conocieron la música pesada, y otra, cómo conocieron la música más extrema, con voces guturales, blast beats y toda esta parafernalia, ¿no? Entonces dice que el hermano mayor de él ya andaba escuchando Cannibal Corpse y Obituary, y claro, le dio un cassette con este disco de Cannibal Corpse, el Tomb of the Mutilated, y el Cause of Death de Obituary, que fueron discos que le despertaron esa hambre por la música más pesada, más gutural, más extrema, y que desde ahí ya fue creciendo esa ambición por ese tipo de sonidos, ¿no? Okay. Now, Charles, I have the impression that you've always been a vocalist. Do you play any instrument?
Yes. I've always been a vocalist. I just played instrument-wise. I played a bass guitar once to record some noise. Mostly, I only play noise with my bass guitar. Otherwise, I'm mostly a vocalist.
Okay, vocalist. And do you remember? Can you tell us the name of your first band?
The first band, I started in 2001 called Cremated Souls. That was a death metal band. And the members of the band, we went on to form GORIFIED, which is a death grind band in 2004. So that was the first extreme band I moved from Cremated Souls, a death metal band, into GORIFIED, playing death grind in 2004, and we recorded a demo in 2005 called Ruptured Within Seconds.
Called?
Which was released on Severed Records from the US.
Oh yeah,
Ruptured Within Seconds was the name of the demo. Yes. Severed Records from the US.
The name of the demo, please. Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, Severed Records. Severed Records from the US.
Yes, the label?
Yeah, the label. In 2006 it was released.
Yes, and what was the name of the demo?
Ruptured Within Seconds.
Ruptured Within Seconds. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Ruptured Within Seconds. Okay. Le preguntaba a Charles cuál fue su primera banda y bueno, y también si alguna vez tocó un instrumento, porque tengo la impresión de que él siempre ha sido vocalista. Dice, sí, siempre he sido vocalista. A veces he hecho un poco de noise con el bajo, pero en general me he desenvuelto como vocalista, son las palabras de él. En el año 2001 se formó la banda Cremated Souls, que en el año 2004 pasó a llamarse GORIFIED. Y si ustedes se fijan, GORIFIED es la banda con el logo rojo que está junto a la imagen de Charles. Es la primera banda es la que tiene el logo más arriba. Es un poco difícil de entender, pero ahí dice GORIFIED. Y esa fue la primera banda de él. Sacaron un demo que fue, ojo, esto es importante. El demo se publicó en el 2006 en Severed Records, este sello dedicado a hacer producciones de brutal death metal. Severed Records es importante. El demo se llamó Ruptured in Seconds. Ok, Ruptured in Seconds fue el demo. Y claro, eso ya les empezó a dar una presencia en su escena, ¿no? Okay, and then how does your story go on?
Okay, I think the year of 2005, my younger brother, his name is Firman Clifford. So he's the founding member, the original member of ArU. He started this band in 2005 playing Goregrind in influence of Last Days of Humanity, Regurgitate, Dead Infection. These were the main influence of the band my younger brother started in 2005. They went on to play a lot of shows, and I used to be a fan of this band. When I used to watch my brother, and his bandmates were Christopher and Tony. They started this in 2005, playing really extreme Goregrind. And then I think after 2010 or so, there was a gig which we played called Undergrind. So that's when my brother said, okay, why don't you do vocals? And so I just picked up and to start doing vocals for ARU.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. Y aquí le
And
preguntaba.
also parallelly,
Yes, tell me.
yeah, parallelly after 2010, we started a grind, the Finsko band called NAUSEATE with my brother Herman Clifford, playing grind, Minsko like Agathocles, Rot, Warsaw, Unholy Grave. So we are doing these parallelly, multiple bands,
Perfect.
pretty much the same band members.
Wonderful information. Okay. Ok, entonces le preguntaba cómo continuó su historia. Y resulta que el hermano de Charles, alrededor del año 2005, fundó una banda que, bueno, por motivos de censura del YouTube vamos a llamar ArU, él le dice ArU, pero ustedes pueden ver el logo, es el logo blanco con negro que está en la parte de más abajo del cuadro de logos. Ya pueden ver el nombre, que no vale decir en voz alta. Vamos a decirle ArU. Y esa fue la banda del hermano. Él era muy fan de la banda ArU, en la que estaba el hermano, y se llevaba muy bien con los compañeros de banda que eran Christopher y Tony. Y se llevaba súper bien. Hasta que en el 2010 necesitaron un vocalista. Y le dijeron, oye, ¿por qué no te unes? Y él dice, claro, encantado, si le gustaba eso. Era una banda súper extrema, así, con un montón de blast beats, voces guturales, guitarras gruesas, con la batería un poquito aguda, así al estilo Last Days of Humanity. Y paralelamente a esa banda, él formó otra que es más grindcore, más mainscore, un grindcore más tradicional con un poquito de influencias de metal, que se llama NAUSEATE, que es la segunda banda del cuadro de logos. Entonces, para entonces, en el 2010 ya tenemos a las tres bandas: GORIFIED, la del logo de arriba, NAUSEATE, y ArU, la del logo de abajo, que no vale pronunciar. Y ahí fue cuando ya empezó a tomar forma la carrera musical de Charles. Entonces ahí comenzó a dar sus primeros pasos ya de forma más sólida, ya de forma más consistente. Okay, Charles. So, as far as I'm concerned, you have very important releases with each of these bands. Okay, let's start with the releases in which you have performed, and let's talk about not just about the release and the production and this, but let's also talk about how it was created, how the process of creation took place, and how did you feel during that process, how long it took, and all of that. Okay? Sure. You told me that with the band ArU, you have this album, Morbid Fascination with Viewing a Human Disaster. The first thing I want to ask you about this, look, it's impossible not to wonder about it. Did you take inspiration from the Carpathian Forest album, Morbid Fascination with Death?
Yeah, so the influence was, there used to be this documentary called Faces of Death.
Oh, Faces of Death, okay.
Yeah, during the narration, there is this one line where this person who's narrating the introduction of this documentary he says like, morbid fascination. So, and then that's when we use the title morbid fascination when viewing human disaster. So before going forward with this, I would like to give a shout out. So this album was recorded in Bangalore, where Herman Clifford, my brother, was the guitarist. Faizan was doing the vocals. Tony was doing the bass, and Rakshit was doing the drums.
So
I was not part of this.
On guitar. Who was
on
vocals?
My brother Herman Clifford on guitar, Faizan on vocals.
Faizan, okay.
Tony on bass.
Mm-hmm.
And Rakshit on drums.
Can you repeat because you got frozen? Who was on drums?
Rakshit.
Oh, Rakshit. Okay.
Rakshit, yeah.
Okay, so which role were you playing at that time?
Yeah. I was at that time playing with NAUSEATE and GORIFIED.
Okay, so you didn't actually record the album?
Yeah, I didn't record the album. I recorded with GORIFIED and NAUSEATE.
Okay.
And I was focusing on these bands, and so my brother got in new members. He played a lot of shows. They did the demo.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did the album. So this was the lineup. We went on to do the album.
Okay, so they did this album, and after some time, you joined the band for doing the shows with ArU.
Yeah.
Right?
Again, I rejoined. Correct. I rejoined ArU. I'm the vocalist of ArU.
Okay. Just one question. Before this, you told me that you joined the band in 2010, but this album is from 2018. So
correct.
So it was the second time you joined the band.
Yeah, correct. I quit and I joined the band in probably 2021-22. I would say.
Okay. Now I get it. All right. So, how was the experience of doing shows with this band? Because as far as I have seen, the live footage is like you are very strong on stage, and you have a very solid sound, and you have a lot of support from the people. So, how did you perceive all the experience of joining ArU and then going on a stage, playing live, killing it on the stage, going full throttle with it, flat out?
Yeah. So it has always been great time, great fun playing with ArU, GORIFIED and NAUSEATE. So we have a small kind of a group, which is not more than probably 20-30 people who really crazy fans of extreme music come out and support whenever we play live. And so also we do our own Goregrind, Grindcore, death metal show called Undergrind. We have been doing that show since 2006, like a DIY gig. We have had bands like PUTRIFIED and Wormrot who played with us in Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
So who are good friends. So we play a lot of shows since the last 20 years with multiple bands. So primarily it's been like me, my brother, my close friends from childhood, just 6-7 people playing in say 5-6 bands together, playing different gigs with different bands. It's been a great time. Like we really enjoy playing gigs, even if it's a small crowd, but we totally enjoy it when the crowd goes mad, moshing, stage diving, and crowd surfing. Yeah, totally wild, crazy times. When it comes to the recording process, we always do a recording live. We do like practice hard and record live. So we don't do take by take recording. Mostly we do it live because that's when we feel we get that real organic energy, like totally violent organic energy, what Goregrind or Grindcore is supposed to be. So that's the way we do it. And normally we have taken not more than 2 days, right, or something in the studio. So we kind of 2-3 days we kind of built it out, all the songs. Yes.
Excellent.
And every time we record, it's a learning. We try to get better with our sound. I would like to hear, mention and thank Guillaume from Pulmonary Fibrosis.
Oh, Guillaume.
Yeah, Guillaume has done all the mixing and mastering for almost all our releases. So he's an old friend I've known from probably like 15-20 years. So he has always been great support with doing the right kind of mix and mastering for our records.
Whoa, that's amazing. You know, he was the 6th guest on this show. We talked about a lot of
great.
things, but this thing I didn't know. Okay, you know that guy Guillaume is such a great guy. He's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Really.
Yeah.
Really, very supportive, and he kind of understands the sound, music, what we are looking for, and he's very patient, and he does understand what we want, and he like been doing Goregrind since like so many years, right? So he's like the perfect guy.
Sure. Wow, that's amazing. Didn't know that. Congratulations. He's such a great musician and such a great guy.
Absolutely.
As well. Alright, let me translate this part. Ok. Bueno, aquí hay bastante información. Un buen fragmento de información. Yo le preguntaba cómo es que salió el disco, el más importante de ArU. El que ven en pantalla, ahí está el nombre de la banda, está el nombre del disco. Primero le preguntaba si el nombre fue inspirado en Carpathian Forest, porque Carpathian Forest tiene el disco Morbid Fascination with Death, y este disco se llama Morbid Fascination when Viewing a Human Disaster. Y me dice, no fue por inspiración de Carpathian Forest, fue porque estaban viendo el documental Faces of Death, ese documental en donde se habla de muchas facetas de la muerte, por eso es Caras de la Muerte el nombre, y que en la narración hablaban de esta fascinación mórbida con ver cosas desagradables, esta fascinación que tiene alguna gente. Entonces dijeron, ese es un excelente nombre, Morbid Fascination when Viewing a Human Disaster. ¿Ok? Por supuesto, he tenido que censurar la portada para que YouTube no moleste, y pueden ver el nombre de la banda ahí en el logo. Entonces me explicaba que él, después de haberse unido en el 2010, se salió durante unos años, y que este disco fue grabado sin él, que el hermano de él estaba en la guitarra, el amigo Faizan estaba en las voces, Tony estaba en el bajo y Rashid estaba en las baterías. Entonces, este álbum se publicó en la Bizarre Leprous Production en el 2018 en la República Checa, y tuvo su reedición en el sello Bringer of War en el año 2024. Ahí están los nombres de los sellos en la esquina inferior derecha, por si alguien quiere tomar nota. Son grandes sellos, ambos sellos son muy importantes. El uno fue la edición original y la otra es la reedición. Si te hacen una reedición en un sello, o sea, si sacas un disco en un sello importante y después una reedición en otro también importante, o sea, tu banda no es cualquier cosa, esta banda es importante. Entonces, alrededor del 2021-22, Charles se une a ArU para dar conciertos porque necesitaban un vocalista. Y claro, al mismo tiempo él ya estaba activo muchos años en GORIFIED y NAUSEATE, de las bandas de las que ya vamos a hablar. Le pregunto cómo es estar sobre el escenario con semejante banda que, puedo ver en los videos que parece muy fuerte, muy sólida. Y entonces dice, sí, son shows pequeños, normalmente de 20 o 30 personas, pero son presentaciones bastante sólidas y que desde el año 2006 ellos entre amigos, entre gente de unas pocas bandas, dice 6 o 7 personas, todos regados en bandas conocidas y cercanas, han organizado juntos este show que se llama Undergrind, que es un festival de música extrema que hacen ahí en Bangalore, en la India, y que cuenta ha contado con presencia de bandas muy importantes como la banda PUTRIFIED y Worm Rot. Son bandas de renombre internacional que les han visitado, han tocado ahí. Y bueno, dice que sí, han avanzado con más grabaciones de ArU y que la forma de grabar de ellos siempre es hacer tomas en vivo, que ellos no hacen las cosas de instrumento por instrumento, sino todo en vivo en el estudio, pero tocando todos a la vez, que es la mejor forma de capturar la esencia de la energía de la banda, que siempre se demoran menos de 2 días en grabar y en ejecutar los instrumentos, máximo hasta un tercer día que ultiman los últimos detalles, y cada vez van haciendo nuevas grabaciones que siempre van mejorando, siempre van puliendo el sonido, van buscando llegar a más. Y que hay un dato interesante, que Guillaume Berry, el baterista de Pulmonary Fibrosis, que estuvo invitado en este programa en el 6º episodio, ustedes lo pueden buscar aquí en su canal Bestial Radio Show. Él es el encargado, durante 15 o 20 años más o menos ha sido la persona que se encarga de mezclar las grabaciones de ArU, que es una persona que entiende súper bien, que tiene mucha paciencia y que entiende el sonido que la banda está buscando. Es una persona bastante entendida en todos los sonidos del Goregrind extremo. Y la amistad de Guillaume ha sido fundamental para estos amigos de ArU, y yo me siento muy honrado de haberlo tenido en el programa, de haberlo conocido personalmente cuando vino al Ecuador en el 2018. Y también es un gusto saber que las personas están conectadas, cómo funciona en el underground mundial, contactos a larga distancia, y se va formando una sola familia. Eso es genial. Okay, so Charles, we have talked about ArU, an amazing band. Each band of you is very unique, very, very special. I'm not making comparisons. ArU is solid, brutal, impressive, and but of course, it's grind. It's Goregrind. Now let's talk about GORIFIED, in which you play death metal, or let's call it brutal death metal, if you wish, if you will. And without making comparisons, just describing each band by itself. Okay, let me tell you, I am very impressed by GORIFIED. I am hugely impressed, because it's very rare to find a band that replicates the live sound on a recording, and you do that with class. First of all, I love the loud kick drum. Please never lower that kick drum.
Kick drum, okay.
Never lower it. The equalization is the perfect mix between high and low. The volume is the perfect measure to replicate the live experience without messing with the rest of the instruments. It gives you a power that becomes even addictive, especially when you play those traditional blasts with that sound.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, it's like a drug, man. Okay, first of all, that, of course, your vocals are extraordinary, and the guitar songwriting as well, because you don't just play death metal or brutal death metal, if you will. You don't just play a style. You play a style with your own signature sound. It's nothing that replicates what other bands do. Yeah, sure. Maybe some people can look at the cover and say, "Oh yeah, they were inspired by Carcass." Maybe aesthetically, but of course, every band gets inspired by something or someone. It's normal. But man, the sound and the songwriting is unique, and I am very impressed by GORIFIED. Okay, I am overwhelmed by this band. Okay,
thanks.
So let's talk about the band more in detail, because with ArU is an important band. You are part of that band. You have accomplished great things, especially on gigs. It's pretty awesome. But GORIFIED is the band you are more attached to since from the very beginning, from the get-go, and you have a long story with it. So let's talk about this band more in detail, because I will be more than pleased to listen to it.
Okay. Cheers, Pablo. The GORIFIED, like I said, we started in 2004 with me and Ganesh. It's just the two of us. We started it back then, and we are the two original members of the band. Even now, we have a new drummer called Karthik, who has joined us since 2020, who played on this album. He was the drummer. I did vocals, Ganesh did guitars and bass. So to start off with this band, it was always been a three-piece band. We never actually had a bass guitarist as such. On and off, we had session bass guitarist, but mostly it was just three people, like me, Ganesh, and it would be some other drummer at that moment. So with GORIFIED, the reason we would sound distinct is what we hear is that because we were influenced by a lot of old school brutal death metal, like Cryptopsy, Suffocation, Deeds of Flesh, and Disgorge from Mexico. At the same time, we were also huge fans of early Carcass, Napalm Death, and we were big fans of stuff like even Sanity's Dawn, right? And we are like Engorged from the US. So we are big fans of brutal death metal, Goregrind, Grindcore. So and then that's what we try to come up with, like not sound like any particular band or particular style. We just wanted to, and kind of mix and mash stuff together with influences, with the songwriting, with the vocal style, with the drumming arrangement, and the overall vibe. That's what I think kind of helped us with getting kind of a very distinct sound, because we didn't want to be fixed to a particular style or a particular band. So I think that's what GORIFIED sound was all about, in a mix of brutal death metal, gore grind.
Oh, yeah, excellent. So that's the general view of the band.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Entonces, la banda GORIFIED, como les decía, la del primer logo, la del logo de más de arriba en la imagen de Charles, la del logo rojo, GORIFIED es la banda con la que Charles ha tenido más, a la que ha estado más pegado desde el inicio. Primero cuando se formaron en el 2001 bajo el nombre Cremated Souls y después se cambiaron el nombre a GORIFIED en el 2004 y siempre han estado muy unidos. Siempre ha sido él en las voces, Ganesh en la guitarra y el bajo de sesión y siempre ha habido algún baterista que se les una para grabar o tocar con ellos. Y desde el 2020 tienen a este baterista llamado Katek, que es increíble, ¿no? Y yo le decía, a ver, lo primero que escuché cuando él me habló de esta banda fue el disco que tienen en pantalla, que es el disco Wrecking Mass of Festering Remains. Y yo le decía, es bastante especial ese disco, sí, está censurado en la mitad, ya entienden qué tipo de imágenes usan. Y yo le decía, a ver, tal vez la portada es un poquito similar a Carcass y la gente puede decir, sí, eso se parece a Carcass, pero es solo la portada, porque claro, todo el mundo se inspira en algo. Pero déjenme decirles, el sonido de esta banda es súper particular. Es muy raro encontrar una banda que puede replicar el sonido de concierto, un sonido bueno y potente de concierto en una grabación. Yo le decía, a ver, para empezar, por favor nunca le bajen el volumen a ese bombo. El bombo es perfecto, es la perfecta mezcla entre agudo y grave. Tiene un volumen durísimo pero que no opaca los otros instrumentos. Es increíble, es como estar en un concierto de una banda con un sonidazo. Primero eso, o sea, y cuando toca el traditional blast, es decir, no tocando al mismo tiempo, sino alternando, cruzando, primero el bombo y después la caja, y con esa potencia de bombo, eso es adictivo, es una bandaza. GORIFIED, sobre todo este disco del que estamos hablando, Wrecking Mass of Festering Remains, increíble. Entonces, bueno, eso yo le preguntaba cómo es que llegaron a ese sonido y además al estilo de composición, porque no es una copia de Carcass, déjenme decirles, para nada. Tienen influencias de todo y es una especie de brutal death metal o death metal muy a la vieja escuela, en el que tienen un sonido propio, no se limitan a tocar dentro de un estilo. Ellos tocan ese estilo pero con su firma personal. Y me cuenta que sí, que así funciona. Bueno, ya explicaba la estructura, siempre han sido una banda tipo trío. Y que la visión de la banda es justamente esa, no replicar exactamente lo de otras bandas, sino juntar todas las influencias para ver qué sale y hasta dónde pueden llegar. Entonces tienen influencias de Cryptopsy, Suffocation, Deeds of Flesh, los Disgorge de México, el viejo Carcass, los inicios de Napalm Death, Sanity's Dawn de Alemania. Es como que mezclan todo y no están atados a un solo estilo, y que esa es la visión general de la banda. Okay, Charles, now let's talk about the process of making this amazing album. Okay, what is the year of this album?
This album was in 2020. It was released on 2020. It was released on Severed Records.
Yes.
Then again in 2022, Severed Records and Coyote Records from Russia.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so Coyote Records and Severed Records together did a compilation of the GORIFIED demo and this album.
Okay. So the demo was the demo songs were kind of bonus tracks.
Yeah, so the demo was done in 2006, right? And the album was done in 2020. Mm-hmm. In 2022, Severed Records and Coyote Records together released like a compilation, demo, album together on one CD. So that was like a collaborative effort from both Severed Records and Coyote Records from Russia.
Perfect. Wonderful. Let me ask you, do you have any other recordings besides that old demo and this more current album?
With GORIFIED, no, I think only these two recordings we have done with GORIFIED.
Okay. And do you have a vast experience at live gigs with GORIFIED?
Yeah. We have played quite a lot of gigs with GORIFIED, mostly in the city where we, from Bangalore. We also played one show with PUTRIFIED and Wormrot in Malaysia in 2010.
Okay. Malaysia.
Yeah.
Perfect. Tell me more about that album. About that concert.
Oh yeah. So this gig in Malaysia was called Dismembering Asia Festival. It was organized by the members of this Malaysian grindcore band called Tools of the Trade. You heard of the band? They played in Europe, and they're a great grindcore band. They're good friends of ours. So they organized this gig in 2010. That's when GORIFIED got to play that show with PUTRIFIED, Wormrot, and a lot of other local bands. So that's when we became good friends with Wormrot and PUTRIFIED.
And so this was in Malaysia, did you say?
Malaysia in 2010.
Okay, Malaysia. Okay, 2010. Wow, how was the experience of playing at that show?
I'm sorry? Oh, experience.
How was your personal experience? You're giving me a lot of info. A lot of input. You're telling me that you went to Malaysia. That's correct. That's something big. You shared the stage with PUTRIFIED, Wormrot. You played at a big fest organized by a band that I suppose is very important. And new country, important bands, big festival. I mean, let's go part by part. Okay, first of all, what impression do you have about sharing the stage and being friends with PUTRIFIED, with the guy from PUTRIFIED, because it's a very special band. It's a brutal death metal band by one man.
Correct.
So, what's your impression about what's his name? He has a French surname.
Lacan, Sean Lacan.
Sean Lacan. Yes, Sean Lacan. Yeah, he has this French surname. How was the experience of meeting and sharing time with Sean Lacan?
Oh yeah, that was a great experience because so when we played that gig, I still remember we were like hanging out together with the Sean and the guys from Wormrot who are good friends of mine. We were all hanging out, and there were like about 10 bands on the bill. So I think if I'm not wrong, Wormrot went before GORIFIED and PUTRIFIED was playing after GORIFIED. So we were like really kind of, because PUTRIFIED and Wormrot were already playing big shows, right? And they're used to playing all kinds of for all kinds of crowd across the world. They've been traveling, but for us it was the first time playing outside our country. So to be honest, we were a bit excited, we were drunk, at the same time a bit nervous because we're playing big festival, crazy violent crowd in Malaysia, and we're playing along with Wormrot and PUTRIFIED, who are two great, fantastic bands playing, one brutal death and the other one grindcore. So that was a crazy experience, but I think we are quite drunk enough, so kind of managed the whole excitement and nervous together.
Okay.
We got a great response though from the local Malaysian underground crowd.
Okay.
It was an amazing kind of gig experience we had, and that's when we became good friends. And in 2011, we invited PUTRIFIED to play in Undergrind in Bangalore. And 2012, we invited Wormrod to play in Undergrind, Bangalore. So that's how this happened.
Okay. And well, I would like to know, how is it like to how nice, how is Sean Lacan as a person when you are dealing with him?
Sean is an amazing person. Like he's
right.
Like super friendly guy. He's very friendly, and like we had some common friends though. Like me and Ganesh from GORIFIED had common friends with Sean. At the same time, it was great hanging out with him. We were also hanging out with ArU and Fitri and Rashid from Wormrod, who are also fantastic guys, very cool, humble, friendly. So it was a great experience being with two banger of bands.
So the two bands were very friendly people and an amazing experience.
Totally, absolutely. And also thanks to the guys from Tools of the Trade who organized the show, who took care of us really well. We were supposed to play kind of a tour in Malaysia, Thailand, if I'm not wrong, I think even Indonesia and few other countries, but we couldn't do it because the guitarist of a band was not in India at that moment. So he used to frequently travel to Canada, to UK and other countries. So we couldn't make a tour, we just could play one show. So we kind of made this happen.
Mm-hmm. Tools of the Trade is such an interesting name for a band that I suppose is a very big fan of Carcass.
Yeah, the title of Carcass, correct.
Yeah, Tools of the Trade.
Yeah.
Tools of the Trade.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna translate this part. Okay. Entonces, continuando con GORIFIED, yo le pregunto, bueno, ¿cuál es la discografía? Y dice, hay un demo del 2006 y este álbum del 2020, el que les mostré hace un rato, el Wrecking Mass of Festering Remains, que salió en Severe Records en el 2020, pero dice, en el 2022 hubo una cooperación entre Severe Records y también Coyote Records de Rusia, que publicaron una reedición de este álbum agregando como bonus track las canciones del demo del 2006. Entonces le pregunto, ok, ¿y su discografía se limita a esas dos producciones? Y me dice, sí, tenemos solo esas dos producciones, las cuales son excelentes, les aseguro. Sobre todo este disco es una brutalidad, es increíble. Entonces perdón, este disco es una salvajada de bueno. Le digo, en todos estos 20 años, casi 20 años que han estado juntos, no, más de 20 años que han estado juntos, deben haber tenido muchos conciertos. Y me dice, sí, hemos tenido muy buenas experiencias. Hay algunas que sobresalen, como por ejemplo cuando estuvieron compartiendo escenario con PUTRIFIED, que es brutal death metal de un solo hombre, que ya vamos a hablar de eso, y Wormrod, esta banda de Grindcore. Estuvieron en Malasia tocando en el Dismember Asia Fest, que fue organizado por la banda Tools of the Trade. Tools of the Trade obviamente tenía que ser una banda de fans de Carcass, porque Carcass tiene el EP del año 91, Tools of the Trade. Tools of the Trade. Ese clásico EP con la canción del mismo nombre. Fueron a Malasia y digo, a ver, barájamela más suave, le digo, porque me estás dando un montón de información y de cosas increíbles. A ver, primero, estar en Malasia, en un festival grande, en el Dismember Asia Fest, organizado por la banda Tools of the Trade, compartir escenario con Wormrod, compartir escenario con PUTRIFIED, eso es una cosa especial. Entonces vamos por partes, a ver. Digo, ¿cómo fue esto de conocer a Sean Lacan, el fundador de la banda PUTRIFIED? Para quienes no conocen esta banda, se trata de una banda de una sola persona. Obviamente él toca el bajo y la guitarra en las grabaciones, pero en vivo él se encarga solo de la guitarra con un sonidazo y también de las voces. Él hace voces y guitarra y tiene baterías programadas, pero con un sonido súper aplastante, súper bueno, de gran calidad. Tiene una extensísima discografía. Probablemente, no estoy seguro, pero muy probablemente sea la banda de brutal death metal en solitario más conocida del mundo. Debe haber alguna otra, pero es una de las más conocidas, de las más populares en el mundo. Y le digo, a ver, ¿cómo es esto de conocer a Sean Lacan? Dice, a ver, primero, compartir escenario con las dos bandas fue increíble. Era un concierto de 10 bandas. Y estar ahí mezclado con estas bandotototas fue asombroso, ¿no? Digo, ok, y háblame cómo es la personalidad de Sean Lacan. Y dice, bueno, fue un momento especial. Además estaban muy emocionados. Claro, no todo lo que se acuerda es perfecto, porque dice, estábamos muy emocionados, también estábamos un poquito tomaditos y medio nerviosos. Fue un conciertazo, una audiencia súper entusiasmada y toda la gente fue chévere. Entonces, como persona, Sean Lacan, increíble, súper amigable, súper buena nota, full apoyo, y los amigos de Wormrod también, dice, todos de todas las bandas increíbles, incluso los de la banda Tools of Trade, y que cuando fueron a tocar allá en Malasia ya les estaban proponiendo a GORIFIED que se unan a un tour en varios países, pero solo pudieron quedarse con ese show grande porque el guitarrista no estaba disponible. El guitarrista de GORIFIED no podía darse el lujo de pegarse un viaje por varios lugares, varios países, varias naciones. Entonces tuvieron que conformarse con eso. Esto fue en el 2010, pero les sirvió para llevar a PUTRIFIED en el 2011, a Wormrod en el 2012, a que toquen en Bangalore, en la India. Entonces, o sea, se imaginan lo que es para para cualquier banda extrema ser invitados a la India, un país, o sea, un país en el que deben estar pasando muchísimas cosas, y presentarse en Bangalore en un concierto organizado por nuestro amigo Charles y el resto de sus amigos que tienen una gran tradición en música extrema, en Grindcore, Goregrind, death metal, brutal death. O sea, ya se imaginan la experiencia que debe haber sido eso. Okay, Charles, I'm trying to represent how amazing the things you told me were. I hope I transmitted them properly because it's a lot of info and amazing stories, you know. And now, what else can you tell me about GORIFIED? Any additional thing? Any plans for the future? Anything you want to add about GORIFIED?
Yeah. So, like I said, the guitarist, he stays in Canada. Ganesh, just me and the drummer, we stay in the same city. Probably he might, whenever he travels next year or the following year, we would like to, have another album or something. Hopefully, that's the plan. If we can do another album recording, and we always had plans of, kind of doing a tour in Europe since like many years. but it never really happened because we had lineup changes. We didn't have steady drummers. I think that's the plan. If GORIFIED, gets back doing music, so let's see how things go.
Okay. Excellent. Entonces, bueno, le decía, algo más que quisieras contar acerca de GORIFIED, que es una excelente banda. Dice, sí, claro, no siempre es fácil hacer música porque Ganesh vive en Canadá y es por eso que él cuando estuvieron en Malasia no pudo hacer más shows, más tours por más países, pero que está pensando en ir en ir una buena temporada de vuelta a la India. Tal vez puedan hacer un nuevo álbum, quizás se concrete alguna gira en Europa, que es un sueño que siempre han querido concretar, pero que no se ha podido hasta ahora, casi siempre por falta de estabilidad en la alineación con los bateristas, pero ahora ya tienen una estabilidad mejor. Entonces dice, bueno, quién sabe, quizás se concrete y que van a trabajar muy duro para lograr eso, ¿no? Okay, Charles. And now let's go with NAUSEATE, your old school grindcore, metallic grindcore kind of thing band, which I think is awesome. I was checking out some live videos. Very powerful band, very old-fashioned grind stuff. So now, how can you sum up the story of this band?
Okay. With NAUSEATE, again, NAUSEATE was started by Clifford, the guitarist of ArU. Guitarist Clifford was my brother. So he started this band with a couple of his friends in 2010, if I'm not wrong, trying to play some old school grindcore, like Agathocles, Rot, something like early Napalm Death, right? And so that's where the whole idea of NAUSEATE came in, to play old school grindcore, mincecore. Then we started playing a few local shows. I think sometime in 2015, we played a show in Bangalore with Napalm Death. Whoa. So that was a huge thing for us because we are big fans of Napalm Death, and it was a great sharing stage with them. We got to meet the band. To Shane and Barney. That was a great experience. That's when we started playing more and more local shows. And then we said, okay, fine, let's record some music. So we had enough material, but we didn't have any recording. That's when I wrote to Jean from Agathocles, saying like, we want to do a split CD. Will you guys be interested? And Jean, being such a sweet and a great guy, he kind of accepted, and he said, yeah, let's do a split. He said, I like the NAUSEATE music, NAUSEATE style. So then, thankful to Jacek from Grindfather, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, from Grindfather, Jacek released the Agathocles NAUSEATE split in 2015. So that was the first recording which NAUSEATE did, a split with the legendary Agathocles from Belgium. Again, followed after a year or two, we kept playing a few more shows. We had some more songs written. We did another split with Archagathus from Canada, and Camphora Mona Bromata from Russia. So it's a three-way split, again released by Grindfather Records.
Can you tell me the name of the Russian band, please?
I'm sorry?
Can you repeat the name of the Russian band, please?
It's called Camphora Mona Bromata.
Okay. Camphora Mona Bromata.
Yeah, that's the name. The Russian band, Archagathus from Canada. We did a split with them. I think, if I'm not wrong, 2016 or 18. I'm not sure with the exact year that was recorded. We had two split series, and then we had enough material. We said, okay,
Okay.
I think sometime in 2021, we thought, okay, fine, let's do a full-length album. That's when we put out this album called Tales of Groaning Existence in 2021. It was released by Grindhead Records from Australia. So thanks to Ryan from Grinded for putting this album out. So I think that's the story of NAUSEATE, playing local shows, put out two split CDs, one full-length album, and probably we'll be writing more music, keeping the old school, raw, grindcore, mincecore style.
Wow. That's an amazing story and an amazing way
and also,
of summing it up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me tell the people this story because it's awesome. It won't take long, alright? Okay. Ok, bueno, y vamos con la historia de la tercera banda en cuestión, en NAUSEATE, que el hermano de Charles Clifford, guitarrista de ArU, fundó esta banda en el 2010 y sí, y claro, aquí ya tienen una visión diferente a las de las otras bandas. Las otras bandas tienen una temática más gore, pero NAUSEATE tiene un sonido más grindcore, mincecore, así vieja escuela tradicional, con las influencias de Agathocles, Roth, Napalm Death, y que estuvieron armando canciones, ensayando, hasta que ya en el 2015 empezaron a tocar en vivo. Incluso llegaron a ser teloneros en la India en un concierto de Napalm Death, y dice que fue una gran experiencia conocer a Shane, a Barney, a todo ese crew de gente de Napalm Death, y que eso les abrió las puertas para más shows locales alrededor de Bangalore y la India. Y ya cuando la banda fue cogiendo forma, empezaron a tener contacto con Jan Fredericks. Jan Fredericks de Agathocles, de la banda belga Agathocles. Dice que es un tipazo, que es muy buena gente. Y entonces el split con Agathocles, el split NAUSEATE, Agathocles salió en Grindfather Productions gracias a Jacek, el dueño de ese sello. Y bueno, continuaron con más shows y que incluso llegaron a hacer un split con la banda canadiense Arcagatus. Bueno, un three-way con Arcagatus y si mal no anoté, Cantera Marabromata. Ok, Cantera Marabromata. Ok, y que en el 2021 sacaron este disco que vamos a ver en pantalla. El disco de NAUSEATE, Tales of Groaning Existence, editado por Grindhead Records de Australia. Entonces, ese disco ha sido clave para posicionar a NAUSEATE dentro de la escena mundial, no solo de la India, sino también el resto del mundo. Estamos hablando de bandas importantes. Las tres bandas principales de Charles han hecho cosas importantes dentro y fuera de la India. Y NAUSEATE es una de ellas, ¿no? Aquí tienen la información en el recuadro de la derecha. Si quieren tomar nota, ahí está. Voy a dejar un momento. Y dice, bueno, quizás en el futuro hagamos más música. Hay que seguir creciendo, ¿no? Es importante siempre pensar en crecer, siempre pensar en mejorar. Okay, Charles. Okay, Charles. So, we have covered the story of... we have covered the history of your three main bands. But you also gave me the names of even more bands in which you're active. That's admirable.
Yeah, lots of side projects.
Yes, you're such a great character inside the Indian scene, I suppose. I mean, and I think it's fabulous to see you're so active, because it means you're always growing, always imagining, always creating things. And, well, telling the story of each band, release by release, as we have during this interview, is going to be impossible with all the other side projects. So I'm going to tell you the name of a band, or one of your bands, and you're going to tell me a description of it. Okay. But before we start, give me 1 second.
Okay.
I want to pick something from my collection. All right?
Okay.
Give me 1 minute.
Sure.
You have this band, Bad Taste, which is like grindcore death, or more grindcore than death. Okay.
Yeah.
How can you sum up the story of this band?
Yeah, Bad Taste, we started in 2007. It was more of death metal grindcore. We wanted to combine, old school like Autopsy, Necrophagia, Impetigo, and Macabre, sort of death metal. If it meets, say, early Napalm Death, Carcass, and then we were also inspired by bands like Machetazo, Gruesome Stuff, Relish. So it was a mix of old school death metal and grindcore, a huge tribute to early 70s, 80s, 90s, horror movies, mostly horror, gore, splatter movies. That is the whole idea of Bad Taste. Started in 2007, played a lot of gigs, but we couldn't put out any recorded material. We do have enough songs with us. We have not had any recorded material because of lineup changes. So I think probably we got a kind of a band going now, concrete. Probably this year or something, we try to do a demo with Bad Taste finally. So that's with Bad Taste. Quickly, Head Splash is a noisecore, noise grind band, which was inspired by bands like 7 Minutes of Nausea, Sore Throat, then Fear of God.
And
that started in 2010. We did a lot of splits with different bands. We did splits with Sete Star Set from Japan. We did split.
I want to show you something.
Oh yeah.
Look at this.
Oh. Okay, yeah, that's the split with Sete Star Set and Organized Docs.
Yes,
Great,
I didn't know that Head Splash was one of your bands.
Okay.
I bought this CD in 2015 at a local gig. A friend from Guayaquil called Paul Troya is a music distributor, and he was selling a lot of stuff, and I asked him, okay, recommend me, if you have grind noise material, recommend me a release with bands that play with a lot of blast beats. And he told me, take this thing with you.
Okay.
The gen noise
Great.
side.
Yes.
The 4-way split. Yes. So I took it home. It didn't disappoint me, and there's a lot of variety of sound between among the bands, Yeah. So that's your band, Head Splash, right?
Head Splash, yeah. So that's what we want to do: noisecore, noise grind, the old way. So that's with Head Splash. We put out quite a few split series. We are trying to come up with a compilation of all the songs, about 100, 110, 120 songs, like small, short noise songs together from different releases. Probably this year we try to do something, release of that with Head Splash. Followed by, we had another project called Fested Wound.
Okay. Okay, but before we continue, I want to talk about Head Splash, because on this 4-way, Head Splash is a great band, great noise score, great noise, and everything. Okay, but yesterday I was checking some newer stuff of Head Splash, and I was impressed because you have a very powerful sound, even more than on this split. So how come? How did this amazing Polish sound took place in this chaotic noisecore band?
Yeah. So if you listen to Head Splash with the different splits, different material. So we started off doing with programmed drums and guitars, bass, and vocals. And then we wanted to again continue with our old school style with actual live drums, bass, distorted guitars, like down-tuned, like crazy screamer vocals. So I think we kind of experimented with different styles with programmed drums, kind of noise core with real harshness in it, and also we want to do something like the old school way with actual live drums, live recording, like short, micro, fast noise core. So the whole idea was to keep it as like intense, as chaotic, like basically noise core.
Perfect.
Right?
So you like variation of sounds, experimentation. I suppose that what I heard yesterday, what I listened to yesterday, it was with computer drums, but very clear, very powerful, and very fast.
Correct.
A couple of YouTube songs, amazing. Congratulations, because it's amazing.
Thanks, brother. So that's what we want to try with computer drums, programs, noise core, and then now we want to go even further old school, just using like live drums, record it live, like the old school noise core.
Sure.
Lo-fi style.
And then you also have this band, Festered Wound.
Correct, Festered Wound. Yeah, Festered Wound is a Gore Noise project, like Goregrind, Gore Noise project. We were inspired by a lot of great, legendary Gore Noise bands. One of it is Biosist from project of Mark from Last Days of Humanity. Biosist and Elbert, Adam Rotella's project.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of Goregrind, Gore Noise. And there is this guy called Bobby. He had a project called Butcher MD, and like tons of Gore Noise bands from the US, Bobby Magard. So these were our inspirations to do Goregrind, Gore Noise. We put out about 2-3 releases, and then we didn't have time doing Festered Wound.
Okay, can you repeat the name of the last guy you named? This Bobby guy?
Yeah, Bobby Magard.
Bobby?
Magard. Maggard. So he has multiple bands. So I think Dr. Butcher was one. He runs a label called Regurgitated Stormers 2 Records.
Okay.
So he specializes in Gore Noise only. So he's a great guy, put out tons of Gore Noise music out there. So Festered Wound, we did multiple splits. Probably we'll do something in the future.
Multiple splits, probably something in the future.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Entonces, hemos cubierto la historia de las principales bandas de Charles. Tenemos a ArU, GORIFIED, tenemos a NAUSEATE, 3 bandas importantísimas en la escena extrema de la India, 3 escenas importantísimas y 3 bandas importantísimas en la escena de la India. Y Charles añadía que aparte de eso tiene otros proyectos alternos. Con algunos ha hecho cosas importantes, con otros no tanto, pero sí es importante hablar de ellos, ¿no? Entonces le digo, ok, no vamos a hablar disco por disco, grabación por grabación, concierto por concierto de cada uno, pero hazme una breve reseña de cada uno de estos, ¿no? Entonces imagínense, aparte de las 3 bandas que ya tiene 5 proyectos alternos. Vamos con los 3 primeros. El primero es Bad Taste. Bad Taste, que es una fusión entre death metal y grindcore. Tiene una fusión de bandas viejas de death metal con bandas grindcoreeras como Napalm Death, Los Inicios de Carcass, Machetazo, Gruesome Stuff Relish, que sí son Goregrind. Obviamente es gore grindcore esa influencia, y tiene mucho que ver con las películas viejas de horror de los 70s, 80s, 90s, y por eso el nombre Bad Taste, como la película de Peter Jackson. Entonces es una banda que, bueno, según lo que he visto en los videos en vivo en YouTube, sí es bastante poderosa, digamos. Le sigue una banda Head Splash, y yo le estaba mostrando a Charles este disco que tengo aquí, que se llama NAUSEATE, que es un 4-way, o sea, un 4 vías, un disco compartido entre 4 bandas, entre las bandas Sete Starset, Organized Dork, la banda de él, Head Splash, y Grosty. Head Splash es una banda que hace noisecore en la onda de 7 minutos de náusea, y todas esas bandas clásicas del noisecore de antaño. Tienen unas pocas producciones. Dice que tal vez en el futuro podrían hacer alguna compilación de todas las grabaciones, que suman alrededor de más o menos unas 120 canciones, ¿no? Entonces es una banda súper radical en esta onda de noisecore, ¿no? Y una particularidad de Head Splash es que no siempre tocan de la misma forma. A veces utilizan batería real, a veces utilizan drum machine, o sea, batería programada, y, o sea, a veces suenan súper modernos y pulidos. Y yo le decía, ayer escuché unas canciones del YouTube en donde suenan, pero a lo bestia, súper de avanzada, a pesar de ser noisecore, es súper pulido, potente, con un drum machine súper bien trabajado. Y también hay grabaciones como las del 4-way, el 4 vías, que son más noisecore a la vieja escuela, tradicional, con batería tradicional, platillos, así todo más crudo. Pero el tema es que siempre van variando, nunca es igual. Y terminamos este bloque hablando del proyecto Festered Wound, que es un proyecto de gore noise. Ustedes saben cómo es el gore noise. Es este estilo de grind noise, noisecore, pero con sonido y temática gore. Y dice, obviamente está influenciado por bandas legendarias de gore noise, como la banda Biosist de Mark Palmen, The Last Days of Humanity de Holanda, todas las bandas de Adam Rotella, que por motivos de censura son impronunciables, y también las bandas Adam Rotella es del estadounidense, del estado de New York, que tiene varios proyectos, entre esos la banda AB, vamos a llamarle AB por las iniciales, que son bandas legendarias, probablemente incluso iniciadoras de la onda gore noise en los 90s, y también influenciados por el norteamericano Bobby McGott, de la banda Dr. Butcher, que tiene el sello Regurgitated Stew Records, Y sí, Festerwood ha hecho una gran cantidad de splits y quién sabe, quizás en el futuro hagan algún álbum de larga duración, ¿no? Okay. So Charles, continuing with your career, your musical career, you have these other bands, Bombworm, Purulent Attack. Can you make a brief description of each?
Yeah, so Bumham again is Gore Noise project, but Gore Noise with light drums, not with programmed drums. So we try to do something different. Usually, a lot of Gore Noise is with programmed drums like Fested Wound, but Bumham was with actual live drums played with really distorted bass, gurgling vomit vocals. That was Bumham Gore Noise style. Then with the Purulent Attack is something the same members of AU and we together. So same Clifford, my brother, Christopher, and we, three of us, we want to do something like the early demos of the Zeisma, the early Carcass, Excelceration, Carnage, like late 80s, early 90s, raw, Goregrind. That was the whole style of it.
Okay. What are your main achievements with it? Which are the main achievements with each of these bands?
Yeah, with Bum Bum, we did a split with Canibe from Italy. Ivan's Goregrind band called Canibe. We did a split with him for Bum Bum. And Purulent Attack, we did a demo released in 2021-22. I think it was released on, I'm not getting the name of the label. We got this demo released called, I think, let me, just give me a minute. I think it is called Cracking Open Skull. So that was with Purulent Attack. Just a demo. We'll probably do some more music maybe in the future if we get time. So, yeah.
Okay.
That's with these bands.
Okay, very interesting. Okay. Y bueno, ya avanzando a la parte final de la trayectoria de Charles, tenemos dos bandas más, dos proyectos más. El uno es Bombworm, que es un gore noise diferente a lo común. Bombworm es una banda de gore noise pero con batería real, porque tradicionalmente el gore noise ha sido siempre siguiendo la onda de las bandas de Adam Rotella, Biosis, que siempre es con drum machine y tocado a toda velocidad. Pero aquí Bombworm es un gore noise con batería acústica, ¿no? Obviamente con un bajo ultra super distorsionado y las voces así de garganta, como que hacen gárgaras, eso sí, a toda madre, como suele pasar en el gore noise. Y el mayor logro de ellos ha sido el split con Canibe, bueno, supongo que se pronuncia así, la banda italiana Canibe. Y claro, eso es una banda importante, ¿no? Purulent Attack es una banda más tradicional. Son los mismos miembros de ArU, pero que están recreando el Goregrind no tan moderno como el que hacen, no tan al estilo Ladies of Humanity, sino algo diferente que evoca el espíritu de los inicios de Cisma, Carcass, Exulceration, los metaleros Carnage, y que han hecho un demo entre el año 2021-22 que se llama Cracking Open Skull, y que sí, tienen la visión de seguir avanzando. Okay, Charles. On the final.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry.
Sorry, I got the name. The Purent Attack demo was titled "The Cracking Open."
The Cracking Open. Okay.
Yes. It was released on old Grinded Days Records from Brazil. I think Glacio, right? Glacio Torres.
Yes. Okay. The Cracking Skull released by Old Grinded Days from Brazil.
Yes. Brazil, yeah.
I know that distro because here, let me show you. I think I have it here. When the split of Parun Piel de Cadáver was released by Rotten Fetus Records, it says distributed by Old Grinded Days Records.
Oh yeah,
in Brazil.
Correct. Old Grinded Days, Brazil. Yeah, that's the label which put out the Purent Attack demo.
Yes. Okay. Oh, those guys are awesome. Very nice people.
Awesome. Yes.
Okay.
Awesome guys.
Let me translate this part. Excellent. Okay. Aquí Charles se hizo una autocorrección sobre el nombre del demo de Purulent Attack. Se llama The Cracking Skull y fue publicado por este sello que tiene aquí en pantalla. Espero que puedan leerlo bien. Déjenme ver. Espero que se esté enfocando. No sé si se lee bien. Old Grinded Days Records de Brasil. A ver, veamos si sale bien. No se ve tan claro. Pero bueno, Old Grinded Days de Brasil publicó ese demo y es un sello y un distro muy respetado en Brasil. Yo he tenido contacto con ellos, muy agradables personas. Okay. Charles, now, when every time I enter the final section of this show, I ask some trivia questions to my guests. And well, you are from India. I guess you can guess I have some questions. Okay. First of all, India is a millenary country, a millenary society. Of course, not always as a republic, but it's a millenary society. It has existed for thousands of years. Many kingdoms, many cultures have emerged there, and now we have what you call the Indian society, which is very diverse, with a lot of contrasts, a lot of different cultural traits, a lot of different geographical regions and climate, and weather, climate. People from different ethnicities together. Well, it's the most populated country in the world, so it's difficult to know where to start to ask you about your country, because come on, it's India. Okay. So first things first, it's the most populated country in the world. How populated is your city?
Oh yeah, I think my city is like really populated. If I'm not wrong, I think probably we have a population of about 8 or 10 million people in my city.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like hugely populated city, and also this is a city which where a lot of people from different other states and provinces, towns come and work here, because it's called the technology hub, the IT capital. So and also it is Bangalore, the city where I'm from, also has a history of having English music culture, rock music culture, pubbing, clubbing culture since like about 30, almost 40, 50 years or more.
Okay.
So it is a very cosmopolitan city, which has people from different communities, different parts of the world. So it's like kind of a melting pot of different. You can literally find people from all over the country living in my city.
Wow, that's
And
amazing.
then the weather is really beautiful. Like, you know, it's probably the city with the best weather in this country. We got like a very moderate cold, moderate hot weather, where some other parts of the country are very hot or very cold.
Okay.
So I would say like that's the best thing about Bangalore. And also Bangalore is the metal underground grindcore metal death metal underground music capital of India. So this is where it all starts.
Whoa.
And most of the underground extreme metal fans are from Bangalore.
So if someone who is listening to this is a metalhead and wants some action, go to Bangalore.
Yeah, mostly majority of them, I would say.
Excellent. Let me translate this part.
Yeah, it has a very matured, music scene.
Perfect. Ok, le decía a Charles, a ver, en la última parte del show yo hago preguntas trivia y no sé dónde empezar porque, seamos honestos, estás en la India, es de la India. Es un país con contrastes culturales, contrastes de clima, contrastes de regiones, es enorme, tiene una extensión enorme. Hay diferentes grupos étnicos juntos. Hay muchos contrastes. Es difícil hacer preguntas y saber por dónde empezar. Entonces, digo, bueno, vamos por lo básico. A ver, yo le digo, vives en el país más poblado del mundo. La India ya es el país más poblado del mundo. Háblame de cómo es tu ciudad, Bangalore. Y dice, ok, y bueno, vamos a poner aquí el mapa una vez más. Dice, Bangalore tiene alrededor de 8 y 10 millones de personas. Es una ciudad bastante grande, no la más grande, pero es bastante grande. Tiene mucha migración interna porque es la capital nacional del desarrollo tecnológico. Hay mucha tecnología informática desarrollándose en Bangalore. Es muy cosmopolita, tiene gente de todo el país ahí dentro y también está muy abierta al resto del mundo. Tiene una tradición muy grande en música internacional en inglés y también una cultura rockera. Es muy bonita la ciudad y está en la zona con el clima más privilegiado de India porque tiene un clima moderado. Hay otras regiones en donde hace demasiado frío, otras regiones donde hace demasiado calor y Bangalore es una ciudad con un clima moderado. Y para rematar, dice, es como la ciudad principal, la capital de la tradición metalera de la India. Entonces ya saben, si están por la India y quieren acción metalera, vayan a Bangalore. ¿Ok? Vayan a Bangalore. Ok, Charles. Give me
Yes,
one
brother.
second, Charles. Well,
Yeah.
with a country so big, so populated, there wouldn't be any point in asking you about a list of bands from there. Okay, man, because it's a huge country with a huge scene, a huge tradition. So the only thing I'm going to ask about your local scene is about the first Indian band that I read of, which is Gruesome Malady, a legendary Goregrind band, death metal Goregrind band from India. Have you ever seen them live?
Yeah, of course. I know them. They're friends of ours. I think I watched them live once. Also, we did a small project, like just live with the drummer of Bruce Malady, with the guys from Rectal together. We did 1 or 2 shows together. So they're really like good old friends of ours, and we played a few shows together. And yeah, and we're very few people who can actually connect with and talk and discuss about extreme music.
Okay, not as many as I suppose.
Oh yeah, not many. So it's like just bunch of few people out here, just like 5-6 people who make multiple bands, and we play shows, record material, and I can count about 20, 30 odd people, maybe 50 people in this country who would probably really explore and grindcore, Goregrind music.
Of course. Oh, excellent. Well, so there's something I'm missing. Okay, never mind. So awesome information. I used to suppose that extreme music scene, the most extreme music scene in India was huge because of statistic possibilities, but you're telling me that actually every city has a bunch of a few people organizing stuff and working together.
Yeah. So there are music fans, about 40-50, but I will say like probably just 6-7 of us, the whole country making out this music. Right? That's about it.
Okay. And which city are Gruesome Malady from?
So it's the same guys, same 6-7 people.
Oh, 6-7 people per city.
They're from Bangalore.
In Bangalore, okay. In 10 million people, you have 6 or 7 organizing everything.
Yeah, everything. Exactly. Everything's happening in Bangalore only.
I mean, I suppose you are talking not about just metal, but talking about Goregrind, Grindcore, Dead Grind, brutal death metal. The
Only Grindcore, Goregrind. Yeah.
Okay. And just to close the gruesome malady topic, which area are they from?
So we stay not too far. I think we stay about maybe like 5 to 10 kilometers away.
Oh, really? 5 or 10 kilometers of distance. What's the name of their town?
Yeah. We stay quite close.
What's their town's name?
They're from Bangalore.
They are from Bangalore.
Town, I think they stay in Bangalore. Yeah.
Interesting. Wonderful. See that coincidence.
Yeah, we are from the same city.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have common friends. So.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, aquí le hacía una pregunta más por curiosidad personal. Yo siempre me había imaginado que en India había una escena fuerte de Goregrind, que bueno, sí la hay, no es, pero me dice que no es tan grande como yo me la imaginaba. Una de las bandas, la primera banda de la que yo escuché hablar que existía en la India, allá por el 2003, me acuerdo que me enteré, es de esta banda que fusiona death metal y Goregrind, que se llama Gruesome Malady, que es una banda legendaria muy importante de estos estilos en la India. Es conocida en todo el mundo, tiene producciones en Europa, tiene producciones lanzadas en varias partes del mundo, distribuidas en todo el mundo. Le digo, ¿son amigos de Gruesome Malady? Dice, sí, les conocemos, somos amigos, les vi una vez en vivo. Uno de ellos tiene un proyecto alterno con el que hemos organizado 1 o 2 conciertos. Digo, ¿en dónde viven? ¿De qué ciudad son? Y dice, son de aquí mismo, de Bangalore. Solo que viven como a 5 o 10 kilómetros, que para una ciudad tan grande no es mucho. Y dice, nos conocemos todos. Digo, qué increíble. O sea, entonces la India tiene una escena fuertísima. Y dice, bueno, sí hay bastante metal. Bangalore es la capital del metal y todo lo demás. Pero en estos géneros ultra underground, hiper extremos, como brutal death metal, Goregrind, Grindcore, Grinders, dice, somos unas pocas personas. Sí hay conciertos con 40, 50 personas, pero gente haciendo cosas, somos 6 o 7 en la ciudad, organizando todo, y que no es muy diferente en otras ciudades. Dice, cuando se trata de las bandas más extremas, hiper underground, no, o sea, realmente es como una pequeña familia en donde nos conocemos todos. Y casualmente, o sea, y claro, es muy chistoso porque en estos géneros con público tan limitado en número, terminamos conociéndonos todos no solo dentro de un país, sino a nivel internacional. Charles es amigo de gente que ha sido entrevistada en este canal, es amiga de amigos con los que me he escrito. Entonces, todos los que hemos estado involucrados en el Goregrind, de alguna manera, terminamos siendo como parientes por la música. Okay. Now, just to know your personal impression, how do you feel about living in the most populated country in the world? Just your personal impression.
Yeah, I know it's like living in a place where it's very populous, like a lot of people around. Sometimes it kind of annoys you, like, and a lot of traffic, because a lot of people bring in a lot of traffic and the chaos. Probably I think we've kind of gotten used to it, grown up in this environment. And when I go to some place where it's kind of with very less population or very, people you see while traveling, kind of get a bit scared or something. It's strange. I'm so used to staying in a populated place.
Okay.
But it's all interesting. You come across different people from different characters, different walks of life. You get to observe people from different backgrounds and behavior.
Okay.
It's a very interesting place.
So
you should come to Bangalore someday.
I hope so. I hope I can go one day. First place I visit in India will be Bangalore, and I will be knocking your door. Yep. Charles, it's me.
Yeah, of course. You're most welcome.
Charles, take me to some gig. Okay.
We'll make sure that we do some gigs around that time.
Okay, man, we will figure it out. Okay.
And you have to teach me some Spanish.
Of course.
Maybe I'll learn some Spanish by that time.
You know something? I am an online teacher. I make a living from teaching languages, so I can teach you anything.
Okay. Oh, great, man. Cool.
It will be a pleasure.
With you to learn Spanish.
All right. Okay. Entonces, le decía, dime tu impresión personal de cómo es vivir en el país más poblado del mundo. India ya le superó a la China. Tiene más, no hay ningún país con más gente que la India. Entonces dice, tiene pros y contras. A veces es un poco molestoso porque hay lugares que están demasiado llenos de gente y quisieras que haya menos, pero a veces te acostumbras y también encuentras gente interesante, conoces gente de todo tipo, gente con diferentes personalidades, diferente carácter, que simplemente coincides en un lugar y te haces amigo y los vas conociendo, ¿no? Y me dice, cuando vengas a la India tienes que venir a Bangalore. Y digo, sí hay metal y hay música extrema. El primer lugar al que iré va a ser Bangalore. Voy a estar tocando a la puerta. ¡Tum, tum, tum! Charles, abre la puerta, vamos a un concierto. Y dice, claro, ahí me enseñas algo de español. Y digo, sí, yo te puedo enseñar. Yo trabajo dando clases online de inglés, de español, de francés. Entonces, claro, sería un gusto enseñarle algo de español y compartir tiempo. Si es que algún día voy a la India, espero poder hacerlo. Sería súper interesante, ¿no? Okay, Charles, we've had a very lovely conversation here. It's been a pleasure to have you here on my show. Anything you want to say to the audience? Any opinion you want to share? Anything I am missing about your musical career? Anything? You're welcome to share whatever you want.
Yeah. So I just would like to give a shout out to all fans, which we have got all our friends and fans, both in Bangalore in India and also outside India, who supported all our bands. I'd like to thank our fans. We'd like to thank all the labels which helped release our music and distributed it. I would like to thank the magazines who wrote reviews. I would like to thank people like you who are fans of this music, to help us reach out to more people. And yeah, that's about it. And also a huge shout out to the whole Goregrind Brotherhood, whole Grindcore community, and big cheers to keep the Gore going and keep Goregrind old school, keep Goregrind raw and brutal. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much.
And also, yeah, mighty hails and cheers to all the bands which have inspired us over the years.
Okay, excellent. Thank you a lot. Ok, entonces le invitaba a Charles a compartir unas últimas palabras para, o sea, que tiene la puerta abierta para compartir cualquier cosa que se me haya olvidado preguntarle, cualquier cosa que quiera decir, saludos a alguien. Entonces, entonces él quiere aprovechar la oportunidad para saludar a todos los amigos y fans de su música, tanto dentro como fuera de la India, a todos los sellos discográficos, a las revistas que les han hecho reseñas, entrevistas. Bueno, también agradeció este canal, por lo cual yo también le devuelvo el agradecimiento por su participación, porque poco a poco, con el apoyo de cada persona que se fija en lo que ellos hacen, llega a más gente, sobre todo que manda un gran saludo a la gente que forma esta como hermandad de la música extrema, que mantengan en vivo al Goregrind, al Grindcore, al Death Metal, al Brutal Death, y quiere agradecer a todas las bandas que han sido una influencia y que les han dado inspiración para seguir adelante, ¿no? Esas son las palabras de Charles Firman Rozario. Okay, Charles, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure. It's been wonderful. I've had a blast of a good time with you here. So all the best for you. All the best for the
Yep.
headbangers in India and all the people in the world. Okay. Bueno,
Yeah, thanks so much, Pablo, and thanks to the Sick Bestial channel putting out, and you're doing a great job. And I'd like to see more video interviews of a lot more underground extreme bands. Keep it up, man. Cheers.
Cheers, man. See you next time. Hasta luego con todos. Gracias por sintonizar. Gracias por haber llegado hasta acá, esta parte del canal. Acuérdense siempre recomendar de boca en boca es lo mejor. Denle click a la campanita, denle click a like, compartan con sus amigos en sus redes. Nos ayudan al canal a crecer. Y como siempre, sigan rockeando. Hasta la próxima.